Good evening and welcome back to another live edition of Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. For those of you that are watching this video on demand, welcome. Thank you for finding the thumbnail interesting enough to want to click on the video and see what we're talking about over here. And to my returning subscribers that are joining me live here, y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know how I feel about y'all. Thank y'all for being here. All right, looks like we got a couple of people in the chat already there. Bella checked in earlier, 2:21 this afternoon. I guess she'll be back. Karen, what's up, Karen? How are you? How are you? She said I was hoping you would make a video soon. Karen, I've been on chill time here lately. I don't know what it is. I'm just trying to go with the flow. We're gonna be talking about this energy tonight. I'm trying to get used to this new paradigm. The paradigm shift has already started. Okay, we got some climactic things that are going to be happening later this month, but the paradigm shift has already begun. What's up, Hotshot? Thank you for joining here. So yeah, let me start off with some because I'm going to be talking about this tonight. What you're going to want to be doing during this season, because this is 2026 is major. Ain't no going back after this. Ain't no going back. She said I can't blame you. Yeah, nah, seriously. I'm learning to adjust because it's happening fast. It is happening fast. And you know, the thing I tell people all the time about the cosmos is this: nothing in the cosmos moves on a dime. Everything is gradual. Everything is a buildup, you know. And since we're all adults here, I'm just gonna say it the way I feel it. The way the cosmos moves is a lot like, you know, when you're being intimate. I mean, you don't just snap your finger and then, okay, we're done. It don't work that way. It doesn't work that way. There's a buildup. Okay, things start. You know, it usually typically starts with a look. You know, a look and then a feeling, and then some words are exchanged, and it's the same way with the cosmos, y'all. Once these major transits are announced, once we know they're already like this stuff is already in motion. This is what people do not understand about how the cosmos works. What is happening on or later this month? I'll be talking about that, y'all. That thing was set in motion millennia ago. Millennia. So, but we're just coming up to this particular transit, and this is how these things work, y'all. With the Most High, the story is already written and finished before the first page is turned by us. That's what we got to realize. So, these energies are already being felt, y'all. I don't know, and maybe y'all can put this in the chat. What's up, Bella? What's up, Bootylicious07? I ain't seen you in the chat in a while. Thank you for being here. Y'all, what you have to understand is like, oh, this is what I was about to say. Y'all put it in the chat and let me know if y'all been feeling this too. And we just we in preliminary right now, y'all. We in the green room. We ain't ready to go live yet. But y'all, for the last, I want to say probably y'all for the last 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, I've been feeling like I'm in a tunnel. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like I feel like I'm in this tunnel going through. Tunnel portal, I guess you could say the same. I guess they're one and the same. Yeah, and y'all, on my other channel, MDT 888 Spirit Guide, I did a 1212 portal reading, and I want to say that was probably around the time that I began feeling the shift with that 1212 portal. And I read some very powerful scripture that accompanied that 1212 portal reading. So if y'all haven't seen that, go check out my other channel, MDT 888 Spirit Guide. Unless you're not into, look, I don't push nothing on anybody. If you're not into spirituality, you're not into tarot, oracle readings and stuff like that, then don't look at it. Don't look at it. But that is something that is biblically supported for those that want to just go by the letter of the scripture, that don't know because they're too caught up in Christian and pastoral doctrine and they don't know the truth. But anyway, that's a story for another day. I want to say, y'all, it probably started around that 1212 portal. But for the last 3-4 weeks, y'all, I've been feeling like I'm in this tunnel and things are just moving rapidly. And I feel like when I come out on the other side of this tunnel, everything is going to look completely different. So I've kind of been zoned in. I've been spending more time at home and just trying to grounding. And y'all, with that being said, Bella said, I've been feeling like preparing for war again, shaking my head muscle. Okay. All right. Y'all, speaking of grounding, I got some grounding music I'm gonna play here. So I've been listening to a lot of root chakra music. I'm gonna play that while we're waiting for a few more people to join, and then we're gonna get this party started, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. You're watching Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. And I can talk over this too, y'all. I can talk over it while it's playing in the background. But this is root chakra, peaceful healing meditation music by Inner Lotus Music, and this is the Flute and Water series. So I usually listen to this track if I'm on one of these Flute and Water tracks when I'm taking a bath. Like, I do baths whenever I feel like I need one. I'm a shower guy, but I do like taking a spiritual bath just to refresh the energy and just cleanse and just, realign everything, y'all. When when you feel like you've had an interesting day or whatever. But yeah. So right now, y'all, I'm gonna talk about this again. So it may be redundant, but y'all definitely want to make sure that y'all are grounding right now. It is super important to ground during this season because things are moving fast. Things are moving fast, and like I was saying with the cosmos, y'all, we're leaving the when it comes to the Chinese zodiac, we're leaving the year of the snake, and y'all know 2025 was the year of the snake. That was all about shedding old patterns, shedding old things, shedding old beliefs, shedding old, relationships, partnerships, friendships, people. It was the year of shedding things that no longer served you. And now that the shedding is done, we are rapidly approaching on February the 17th, the Chinese New Year, the year of the horse. But it isn't just any horse. When you look at Chinese zodiac, each year has an element assigned to it. So this is the year of the horse, but it's the year of the fire horse. So this year, it's going to be a lot of purging, y'all. A lot fire purges and then renews. So fire purges so that things can be renewed. That's how that works. All the elements work together. Fire purges, the wind goes and it blows off the excess ash, and then you got the earth. It absorbs the ash that's sitting on it. Water comes and washes everything clean, and then everything is new and made new and renewed for renewed life. And we're seeing a lot of that in the cosmos right now, y'all. The Most High is stripping a lot of old paradigms, a lot of old things, a lot of old stuff that's just time for it to go away so that new things can come in. So, y'all, this is an exciting time. But, man, y'all put it in the chat and tell me if y'all feel like y'all are undergoing a metamorphosis, because I know I have. I speak for me. I definitely feel like I've been undergoing a metamorphosis. So anyway, we're about 7 minutes in. I'm gonna turn the music down, and we're gonna get started. What's up, Lady Dagger Status? We're gonna get started with tonight's presentation, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all know I normally throw on a button-down shirt or something, y'all, but tonight I was just like, yo, let me just keep it raw. Let me just keep it raw. So anyway, let's take the music down, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. And y'all know, as you're coming in, please tap that like button because that helps with the algorithm. Because y'all know these platforms with some of these energies that run in the background, there's certain channels they don't like. There's certain channels they do not like, and those are typically channels where people are dropping truth bombs, truth bombs. They don't like those too much. So y'all know but we help each other. We can overcome those by helping each other. That's how it works. All right. So let's get this party started, y'all. We talking about February of 2026. Neptune and Saturn converge at the God degree. What degree is that, Matt? Boom, 0. The 0 degree. 0 is the number or the energy from which everything emerges. 0 is the energy to which everything returns, right? That's that God degree. There is no beginning or end to the 0. Any point on a 0 functions as the beginning and the end. Any point on a 0. Why? Because when you put your finger or a pen or a pencil tip on a 0 and trace it around, you're going to come right back to where you started. So any point on a 0 functions as the beginning and the end. I'm the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end. Y'all see how all this stuff plays together? So, and 0 also happens to be an amplifier or a magnifier too, because any number you put 0 behind, it's going to increase it. So that's the God degree. That's the God degree. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. Neptune and Saturn in February 2026 are going to converge at the God degree, which is the 0 degree, in the sign of the Ram, Aries. Everything changes now, y'all. Everything changes. Let me see. What did I put? What did I write in this? What did I write in this description box? Okay, y'all. I got a little. I wasn't grammatically correct the way I wrote this, but I wanted to write it the way I say it. So I said, y'all. This month, February 2026, we have a solar eclipse that is occurring at 29 degrees Aquarius. I can pause right there and talk about that. So I'm going to. 29 degrees Aquarius. The 29th degree is known as one of those critical degrees, okay? The thing I like about the 29th degree, for those of y'all that are familiar with tarot, the 29th degree is like the world card. The world card is the last of the major arcana. It has all four fixed signs in it present, and it is establishment of a foundation. It is success. It is achievement. It is arriving at the point of no return. Okay. After the 29th degree comes the next degree. The sign changes after the 29th degree. So the 29th degree is going to be the last degree of any sign. You know, when you reach that last degree, you like, I'm here now. Y'all can't tell me nothing. You cannot change my mind. I've seen it all. The 29th degree represents having seen everything and done everything. And now you're turning in your paper. Boom, you're signing your name on it. And you're moving on to the next grade, which begins at the 0 degree. All right. So we got 29 degrees Aquarius. You know how powerful that is? Aquarius is the rebel. Aquarius is the rebel for a cause. The Aquarius is the energy of the humanitarian. Aquarius is the energy of that selfless soul that rides for everybody else, that says, hey, you know what? It is not cool. Aquarius is the energy of the, y'all know how I'm always on here saying that the workers of iniquity are really the workers of inequity, aka the workers of imbalance. Aquarius exists to counter them, right? The agents of imbalance, the so-called elite, that which ain't elite at nothing but lying, they are the agents of iniquity. Okay, they're the workers of iniquity. They're the workers of darkness. Why? Because they work so hard to keep everything in this earth out of balance. Okay, I was just talking with one of my family members about that today. I said, you know, we're coming up on the spring equinox, and yet I said these workers of iniquity, people don't even realize why we have a time change. The time change was instituted by the workers of iniquity to do what, Matt? And y'all, I'm going freeform tonight. I do have some notes, but I just said, you know what? I'm going to fall back to the notes. I just want to come on here and talk to y'all tonight because this is important stuff. Okay. But I was telling this family member, I said, the workers of iniquity, because the equinoxes, think about when they change the time. They don't change the time in the summer. They don't change it in the winter. They change it in the spring and they change it in the fall. Why is that? Because we got that the earth comes back into balance in Aries season and Libra season. Equinox. The equinox is when you have, depending on where you are on the planet, but the equinox is when you have an equal number of daylight hours and nighttime hours. That is the reset. That is the rebalancing of everything in nature. It is the rebalancing of your bodies. Why? Because our bodies are a part of nature. Our body, we have the same elements present inside of us that are present in nature: earth, water, fire, air, and believe it or not, ether. Your ether is your crown chakra. That's a story for another day. Okay. You got 5 elements in you, not 4. They only taught us about 4 in school. Why? Because the agents of iniquity run the school system. They don't want you to know about ether. Why? Because if you start learning about ether, then you start learning that ether is what holds free energy. And you actually you ain't supposed to be paying nobody's light bill on this planet. Just like you ain't supposed to be paying nobody's water bill on this planet. All of this stuff was freely provided to sustain life on this planet by the creator. But the agents of imbalance, the workers of darkness, the agents of iniquity said, hey, we can monetize this and enslave humanity and get them to work for us. That's out of balance. We work for ourselves. We work for each other. It ain't no, I work for you, but you don't work for me. That's out of balance, right? So anyway, Aquarius exists to go against that. Okay. Structures, that's Saturn. That's Capricorn. That's structures. That's putting things. Hey, we got to do it a certain way. We gotta make sure this is done right. It's got to be done decently and in order. Okay. That's all your earth signs really, but particularly Virgo and Capricorn. Okay. Now, Aquarius comes back and it checks Capricorn's work. Aquarius says, hey, wait a minute. Okay. I see you put these rules in place. Are you following them? Number one, right? Isn't that in the scripture? Thou that teachest another, thou shalt not steal. Does thou steal? That's in the second chapter of Romans. Romans the second chapter. Romans the second chapter. Yeah. Let me go there right now. I told y'all I'm freestyling tonight, y'all. I'm freestyling. You still gonna learn because that's what we do over here. That's what we do. But I'm freestyling right now. So let me freestyle, y'all. Let me freestyle. I ain't always got to go by the notes. Let me freestyle. Let's go. Oh, let me switch over. Let me switch over here. Y'all see, I be studying over here. I do. Let's see. Where's that? Romans chapter 2. Let's start around verse 19. Okay. Verse 20. And instruct of the foolish, a teacher of babes, which has the form of knowledge and of the truth in the law. Thou therefore that teachest another, teachest thou not thyself? Thou that preachest a man should not steal, does thou steal? That goes from that. That's the second chapter of Romans. I just wanted to show y'all that. Okay, that is what the agents of imbalance do. They say, do as I say, not as I do, but that ain't how it's supposed to be. Aquarius comes along and says, nah, 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 nah. That system only serving you. It ain't serving everybody. We're going to tear that system down and we're going to do something better. We're going to do something that works for everybody. So now when Aquarius is at that 29th degree, it's established. You're not going to change his mind. You almost cannot change a fixed sign's mind anyway, unless you can show them where they're wrong. But Aquarius, when it's in that, or any of them in that 29th degree, you can hang it off. It's done. They've seen it all. They've done it all. So you got, let me go back to this copy, this description box copy. You got a solar eclipse. Y'all remember last year, we were talking about eclipses around the September timeframe. I told y'all that lunar eclipses are the shedding of the old lining. That's why they call it a blood moon. Lunar energy is feminine energy, blood moon, shedding. I don't need to go any deeper than that, because I'm probably going to gross myself out if I do. And I'm not trying to do that on here. But y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? Lunar eclipses are shedding, releasing, okay? Solar eclipses are activation. The sun activates. So you got the activation of this powerful Aquarian energy taking place at 29 degrees of Aquarius, right before the sign changes to Pisces. But that's not relevant. We're talking about Aquarius energy happening while Pluto is at Aquarius. So not only do you have a powerful energy activation portal coming from the sun, but it is also being powered by Pluto, which is the destroyer and the regenerator. That's powerful energy already, y'all. Okay, so that's happening this month. Then a couple of days later, you got a Saturn Neptune conjunction happening at 0 degrees. And let me back up just a minute, y'all. You're probably going to hear two different things out there. I've heard people say that the eclipse is happening at 28 degrees. I've heard people say it's happening at 29 degrees. I think it just depends on the part of the world you're in. Because, like, if you're 28, 29, I think it depends on the part of the world you're in, but I'm not sure. That's close enough for me. I've seen it both ways. I'm going with that 29th degree, because 29 is powerful. So I'm saying it's 29 degrees. Some people saying it's 28 degrees. Close enough either way. All right. So if you got any natal chart placements that are within about 5 degrees north or south of that, you're probably going to feel those energies intensely, based on whatever sign you have, or planet you have in that sign that's at 29 degrees or 5 degrees below or 5 degrees above. But I'm not doing astrology this video, so I'm not going to get all into that. I might do that later in the week as we get closer to that eclipse, and just do a rundown through the houses like I did all last year, and tell y'all what you might be able to expect. But we're not going to do that right now. So you got this solar eclipse happening at 29 degrees of Aquarius. Aquarius is like later for these structures, later for what's happening. Y'all see the people. I just saw something today on Times of India. I look at Times of India's YouTube channel. Y'all hit that like button as you're coming in too, please. If you're just coming in, hit that like button for me. It's going to let more people know we're live. I look at the Times of India channel sometimes, and one of the things I was looking at is they said they're rioting over there in Milan at the Olympics. They are rioting. Y'all see what's happening? That's the people standing up. This is what happens when you have Pluto and Aquarius. The people say enough's enough and too much ain't good for nothing. We're going to do something different now. We ain't going for it. The people like, oh, you trying to lull us to sleep with some games? Meanwhile, y'all doing all of this FK, SHT all around the planet? Nah. We ain't trying to hear that. So that's happening, okay? Typical of Pluto and Aquarius. But this is also, we're in that, we're starting to enter that shadow phase. Today's the 9th. Yeah. Usually around 10 days out from an eclipse, you start to feel the energy of the eclipse as we approach. Remember, you don't go from, hey babe, how you doing, to climax. There's a buildup, okay? There's a buildup. And I know I'm talking adult tonight. I'm an adult, so we're going to adult tonight, okay? There's always a buildup. That's what happens with these planetary placements. It ain't no, hey babe, how you doing? Mwah, boom, we're done. No, there's a buildup, okay? So we're in the buildup now to that solar eclipse at 29 degrees Aquarius. But not just that, because 2 days after that, Y'all. Saturn, karma, delivery of what's due, is joining up with Neptune, the planet of hopes, dreams, visions, illusions, spirituality, aspirations, all of that stuff's Neptunian energy. They are coming together at 0 degrees of Aries. Neptune is already there. This is why so many truths are coming out now. This is why so many lies are being exposed right now. I'm going to talk about a couple of those in just a minute. Okay. But that is what happens when Neptune is that deep water. Neptune's that deep water energy. Neptune is also secrets. Tarot, Neptune is the moon card. You don't see what's below the surface, right? But Aries is the energy of presentation. It is the energy of appearance. The baby coming out of the womb is Aries energy. Boom, it's here. It's appearing. That's Aries energy. So when Neptune goes into Aries, everything that was hidden beneath the surface of the water comes into appearance. So this is why all of these things that have been hidden for so long are now coming out. I got some scriptures tonight that we're going to talk about, okay? So Neptune is already sitting at 0 degrees Aries. Saturn is still sitting at 29 degrees of Pisces, but it's going to join Aries on the 20th of February, okay? All right? But that ain't it, y'all. That ain't it. So you got the energy of karma, the energy of delivery of those things which are due to you, good or bad. Okay. Reward or correction. I don't want to say punishment because that's too harsh for some people, but it's correction. When you out of line, you get corrected by the universe. That's what happens. People say, oh, the Lord punished me. He correcting you because he wants you to do better. He know you can do better. Some can't do better, right? We know that because the Messiah said what? He looked them Pharisees right in their face and said, you have your father, the devil. Get up out of my face, son, before I show y'all my powers. Wait a minute. Oh, wait, hold up. That's my angel. Oh, man, he said I can't show y'all my powers this lifetime. I'm going to have to smoke y'all. I'll be back in about 2,000 years, and I'm going to smoke y'all then. I'll be back. I can't smoke y'all right now. I'm coming back for you, though. I'm coming for you. Yeah. But while I'm here, though, I'm still going to call you out. You have your father, the devil. You can't get no higher frequency than you at right now. You low frequency, and you can't get no higher. So is that correction, or is that just, I don't know. That part I don't totally know, because like the devil got a purpose too. We talked about that. Just like in the parasites video, I told y'all parasites have a purpose. Okay. Parasites are there to take things back, to return stuff back to the earth. Oh, it's damaged tissue. We're here to take care of damaged tissue and repurpose it. So even these devils got a purpose. Like if you supposed to be high vibrational, but you acting low vibrational, them devils there waiting on you to scare you back into being high vibrational. That's how that works. Okay. That's short. That's keeping it short. But we got a Saturn Neptune conjunction coming together at 0 degrees Aries. Okay. Pardon me, y'all. I didn't hit that mute button in time, but that was a confirmation burp, as some people say. Now, but it don't stop there, because guess what's happening a couple of weeks later on March the 3rd? You got a blood moon eclipse that is occurring at 12 degrees of Virgo. 12 degrees Virgo. 12 degrees a Piscean degree. Okay. That's about spirituality too. Very interesting transit. Virgo. Y'all, you ain't supposed to. Look, we just had a Virgo blood moon eclipse last September. We having another one here in March. That's huge, y'all. I told y'all with that Virgo, listen, when you're eclipsing the South Node, that is saying, hey, you got to let go of this old stuff. You got to let go of what doesn't serve you. I told y'all one of the biggest Achilles heels for Virgo energy is caring what people think or say. All right. But also keep in mind, Virgo rules over the 6th house of daily tasks, daily routines, basically work, what you do every day. Okay. So when you got a shedding of that energy and it's in the South Node, that's telling me something else, y'all. I've been telling y'all there's a work stoppage coming. I don't want to say prophesying, because then some people think that you got a big head about something. Which I don't care, really. I don't, right? I'm supposed to be leaving. I'm an 11th house Virgo, so I'm not supposed to care what everybody think about me. So F it. I'm going to leave that in the South Node too. I've been prophesying for the last 8-9 months, y'all, that there is a work stoppage coming. There's a work stoppage coming. Pens down, like the end of the school year. I've been telling y'all that's coming. We seeing this eclipse again after this Neptune and Saturn and Aries. I'm gonna get on some scripture, y'all. Get on some scripture for y'all. And on top of all of that, the North Node, which is the planetary waypoint, the planetary GPS, the planetary direction setter, that North Node is leaving Pisces and entering Aquarius on July 27th. So not only are you going to have Pluto in Aquarius, you're going to have Pluto conjunct the South Node in the same sign. Not the South Node, the North Node in the same sign. Pluto in Aquarius and the North Node in Aquarius, this planet is about to get ripped out of the hands of the so-called elites that are only elite at lying. And they really ain't even elite at that, because guess what? He said if it be possible, he would fool even God's very elect. But it ain't possible. That's why it says if it were possible. So they really ain't even elite at lying, because the those that are holders of the lights, they see them all day. They're like, man, you lying, man. Why you lying? Why you lying? We're going to be talking about some of those lies coming up. Anyway, this planet is about to be ripped out of the hands of these so-called elites. They got their grandiose plans of what they're going to do on we got Agenda 2030. You will own nothing and be happy. Really? 2030, a long way away there, buddy. It's a whole lot of cosmic transits happening. Y'all ain't going to get to 2030 with y'all plans. Most High laughing at y'all right now. He laughing at y'all. Y'all think y'all time up. Your time's up. Y'all got to get up. Get up from the table so somebody else can eat. Like my dad used to tell us back in the day when it was family gatherings, all right? You only had so much space at the table. Get up, boys, so somebody else can eat. Nah. You come back through when everything's done. If you want to see if it's some leftovers, you come through then. But get up so somebody else can eat. Right? They did the same thing in the army too. That's a story for another day. But North Node is going into Aquarius, where it's going to sit for the next 18 months. Okay? Y'all going to start to feel that North Node energy shift. With that North Node shift happening in July, let's count back June, May, April. Y'all talking we about like 2 months away from beginning to feel the energy of the North Node shifting into Aquarius, okay? The way I see the North Node transits are 90 days out, you start to feel it. Then you sit in it for 12 months. And then another 90 days after that, you start to transition out of it and the other energy starts to come in. This is how these things work, y'all. Everything is just like going, it don't switch from night to day on a dime. It gets gradually dark, then it gets gradually light, then boom. So this year will go down in history, y'all, as the pivot point whereby reality shifted as the eternal champion known as truth emerged and the shadow retreated. This is the year everything turns around. This is the year that the shadow has got to go. This is that split now, y'all. That reality split that so many of us have been talking about dating back to 2020. Okay? So in this live stream, we're going to discuss some of the truths that have already been revealed, as well as talking about what to expect and what you should consider doing to make this Earth transition as easy as possible for you. And I've already told y'all, the number one thing you can be doing right now is resting, relaxing, taking care of your body, and grounding. And grounding, y'all. Grounding. Ground big time. Want to really ground? Y'all want an easy cheat code for grounding? I know it's kind of cold right now, but when the weather starts to warm up, go outside in your backyard or go to a park or something like that. Take your shoes off and get on the ground and just do some push-ups. Do some push-ups. You got a closed circuit now with your hands and your feet on the earth. You got a circuit now. Go out there and just knock out some push-ups. Your hands and your feet touching the earth at the same time, that's some powerful ground. That's a powerful grounding technique. That's for somebody. Now, you don't have to do it. You can just walk barefoot on the earth. That's another way to do it too. But if you want to, you want to get a 2-for-1, you want to get some nice little chiseling in your arms or whatever. Ladies that upper back, them arms or whatever, the chest, whatever, lift them or whatever. Boom, do some push-ups on the ground. It's good for you. It's good for you. So, man, y'all, man. She said Venus, Mercury ascendant in Aquarius. Wow. What's up, Ali Roo? Jojo Mack in the house, y'all. Jojo Mack in the house. We got No 611 Bernadette in the house, y'all. Got Bella here in the house, y'all. Bella's here. All right, y'all, let's get it started. Let's get this started because I got some video and stuff for y'all too. But I kind of wanted to freestyle today, y'all. I wanted to freestyle. So, and I did talk about that fire. I did talk about that fire horse. I'm gonna show y'all some video about that fire horse because I'm not real strong in Chinese astrology, so I lean on those who are. I brought some video in to explain to y'all the significance of this fire horse. Just know that fire moves rapidly, and the horse is like a fast moving energy that also seeks freedom. Okay. So now, what do I have here? I said also 0 degrees Aries, right? 0 degrees Aries for Neptune and Saturn coming up on the 20th of this month. Now, Saturn changes signs a little bit faster than Neptune. Neptune stays in a sign for 14 years. So y'all got 14 years of truths being revealed. 14 years. The dark side is done. They're finished. All their lies, they're done, y'all. They are so done. They're so done. And we even talking about, look, let me say this. 0 degrees of any sign is also aligned with a very interesting tarot card. And that card is the 0 card, the Fool. The Fool. So the Fool card represents taking a new journey, just taking that leap of faith and taking a new journey. So when you got these two planets right here coming together in 0 degrees, that is Fool card energy too. So that also tells you that there's something new that's coming. There is something new. If y'all want to get into alignment, if y'all really want to get into alignment, y'all, I'm always on here talking to y'all about alignment. If you really want to get into alignment, start thinking in terms of, what new energy do I want in my life? What fresh energy do I want in my life? What is something I always wanted to do, but I just kept putting it off, or I didn't do it, or didn't think I could do it? Y'all, manifestation. Listen, with Neptune moving into Aries, the veil is gone. The veil is practically gone. The veil is its heaviest when Neptune is in Pisces. Why? Because Neptune is a planet that rules over Pisces, which rules over the 12th house. The 12th house is that bridge between heaven and earth. The 12th house is the veil. The 12th house is the veil. That's why people with 12th house placements, they're super spiritual. If they're not careful, they can be unstable sometimes. They can be if they're not grounded. This is why we talk about grounding, okay? But when you got, now, if you got a water sign in the 12th house, you're a force. You are a force, because you're either going to see it or feel it or just know it. All right. Anyway, y'all, listen, the veil is gone. Neptune is in Aries now. There is no veil. If you want it, you can almost speak it and get it instantly now. Y'all, I've been amazing. I'm watching my mouth these days, because on top of all of that, I'm a life path 8. So if you're a life path number 8, or you got significant Scorpio placements in your chart, you have to really be careful what you say, okay? Because you can, if you got an air sign in the 8th house, you got Gemini, Sagittarius, or Libra in the 8th house, you can speak it into existence too. So you have to be very careful with this Neptune and Aries, y'all, for the next 14 years. Be careful of what comes out of your mouth, because it's almost going to be instantaneous. The veil is gone. There is no veil. You're going to see it. You're going to see people for who they are. The masks are coming off, y'all. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. This is what is happening. Everything is changing now. It ain't no going back, y'all. It ain't no going back. This is it. We in that new paradigm. The shift is here, okay? So, the Fool card also maps to Uranus. So that's the ruling planet for Aquarius. When you talk about Uranus energy, when you're talking about Uranian or Aquarian energy, it is also the energy of the unexpected. So y'all should be expecting the unexpected. And this is why you have to ground right now. When you're grounded, you can bear the brunt of anything, good or bad, happy or sad. You can bear the brunt of it a lot easier when you're grounded. Y'all ever seen them kung fu movies where that person is almost like squatting down to the ground, and and you can't move them. They're grounded. Their feet, heels, they're planted in the ground. They've made an energetic connection with the ground that says, like that tree right there, you're not gonna move me. Like that song we used to sing back in church back in the day. Just like a tree planted by the water, I shall not be moved. That's the attitude you got to have right now, y'all. Because Aquarian energy, Uranus energy, these transits right here, expect the unexpected. There's so many truths coming out. I'm going to show y'all two very powerful ones, okay? There's a huge shakeup coming, y'all. There's a huge shakeup coming, and that takes my mind to the Hopi prophecy about the third shaking. Let me bring that up on the screen and read that with y'all. Let me bring up this Hopi prophecy. I want y'all to see this. Where did I put it? I forget which. Y'all, I got three different browsers on this computer. Let's go with this one. Here it is. I got 3 different web browsers on here, and I use all 3 of them. Is that too much, y'all? Is that too much? I got 3 different web browsers. All right, so let me share this to the screen. And Hopi prophecy of the third shaking. This was written on August 19th by Eliza Aires. It's on sunnysjournal.com. Let me read this, y'all. Let me share this to the screen. First share tonight. Thank y'all for being here too. Thank y'all. I appreciate you guys being here. If you're new just coming in, please do me a huge favor and tap that like button. It helps the algorithm. It really does. All right. Hopi prophecy of the third shaking. The third shaking, the prophecy of the third shaking of the earth. In Native American. Okay, let's talk about that truth right there. Native American, that's the hijack right there too, y'all. Just so you know, Native American look like the guy talking to you on the screen. All right, we ain't gonna deal with that tonight because when you know, you know. Told y'all the truths are coming out right and left now. The Hopi prophecy of the third shaking of the earth. In Native American wisdom, the Hopi tribe spoke of a powerful prophecy known as the three great shakings of the earth. The first two shakings are believed to have already occurred, being the First and Second World Wars, both global events that deeply impacted all of humanity. The third shaking, the Hopi said, would come at a time of great upheaval marked by an increase in extreme weather events of all kinds, such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, storms, fires, and floods. It didn't say whether they're man-made or natural. It just said they were going to be there, right? You got to be able to parse through that too. These would all be signs that Mother Earth was entering a sacred birthing process and a time of deep cleansing, purification, and transformation in our world. How Mother Nature chooses to do it is how she chooses to do it. The Hopi understood the earth as a sentient, sacred being and our living, breathing mother, with indigenous peoples living in harmony and balance with nature, honoring the lands, the waters, the entire planet, and with great respect for all that she provides. The Hopi taught that the earth moves through natural cycles of release and renewal, and that when humanity strays from living in alignment, the earth responds with a great rebalancing as a natural consequence. At this time of the third shaking, the Hopi believed that global division, conflict, and disharmony would become so widespread that the earth would begin to call out to her children, and she would urge us, as the children who live upon her, to return to peace, unity, and harmony with one another, with Mother Earth herself, and with all life. At the same time of the third great shaking, the prophecy also speaks of a shift into a new era, which coincides with the Hopi Rainbow Warrior prophecy that foretells a tribe of millions of people from all races, nations, and walks of life who would hear the earth's call and begin to awaken spiritually. Is that not happening, y'all? One by one, these peoples would set aside their differences, begin to unite, and return to a way of being that is rooted in love, healing, harmony, and balance upon the earth. That's prophesied in Micah chapter 4. I've read it a number of times. Many believe we are now living in this time, the time of the third great shaking, where the old ways of division, disconnection, and imbalance, there's that workers of iniquity sticking their head up, imbalance are beginning to dissolve, and something new is about to be born. The birth of a new humanity, one that recognizes our shared responsibility to walk gently upon the earth, to return to balance and harmony, and to honor the sacredness of all life upon her. The earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth, by Chief Seattle. And the time to awaken is now. That's here, y'all. That's here. That is here. Okay. So all the truths are coming to the light. All the truths are coming to the light. I'm reading from my notes now. Remember, the only purpose for a lie is to hide the truth. That's the only purpose of a lie. That's it. That's the only reason why lies exist. They exist to hide the truth. But here's the interesting thing. With lies, here's the interesting thing with lies. Lies themselves hold their own truth. How about that? The lie itself is infused with the truth. Y'all want to know how that works? Lies hold their own truth. This is how. The truth is that the lie is a lie. How about that? So the lies are infused with the truth. This goes back to Proverbs 26 and 27. Whoso diggeth the pit shall fall therein. You can't set a trap for somebody because you will end up falling in it yourself sooner or later. The interesting thing with lies is that they hold their own truth. And that truth is that the lie is a lie. How about that? That is your evidence that God exists in everything. You cannot even, God even shows himself through somebody's lies. Because guess what? The lie itself holds the truth. And that truth is that it's a lie. So this is why all lies are universal Ponzi schemes. Why you say that, Matt? It's real simple. Lies exist to hide the truth. It takes a second lie to hide the truth that the original thing spoken was a lie. How about that? Let me crack my neck on that one. I'm going to read that again, y'all. Because lies exist to hide the truth, it takes a second lie to hide the truth that the original thing spoken was a lie. And then guess what? You then need another lie to hide that second lie, and the next, and the next, and the next, until finally the weight of the lies becomes so heavy that they can no longer hold themselves up. So suddenly they come crashing down. That's what's happening right now. That is what's happening right now. Them people over there in 1948 state, okay? And I ain't talking about the people who blindly went over there because they believed the lie. I'm talking about the administrators. Where's my Hebrew? I'm gonna show y'all something. You know what? I'm gonna show y'all right now. I told y'all I'm freestyling. I'm gonna show y'all something right now. This download I got, y'all. A lot of y'all getting downloads right now too. Can't turn it off. Let me show y'all something. Let me bring this up on the web page here. Let's see. Let's see. Let me do it like this. Okay, come on. Come on. Okay. All right, let me show y'all something. Okay? In Paleo Hebrew, this thing was called the Zah, but in modern Hebrew, it's called the Zion. Zayin. I'm gonna show y'all something that's gonna blow your mind. This download blew my mind. Let me show y'all something. I told y'all I'm freestyling tonight. When I'm done, I'm done. But right now, I'm freestyling. Let me show y'all something. It's gonna blow your mind. Talking about 1948 state. I'm taking a sidestep to, since we're talking about lies and how one lie has to be told to cover the truth that the original was a lie. Let me show y'all something. All right. This is the AI search assistant. Now, I know the Hebrew character set. I told you I was studying it for a while and was like, nah, I'm not interested in speaking this modern Hebrew because it's not the language spoken by my ancestors. So I jumped off the ship. But anyway, here we go. What is the Zion in Hebrew? Okay. We're going to go out to research assistant or search assistant. Zion is the seventh letter of the Hebrew alphabet represented by the symbol, and that's the Zah, as I'm going to call it. It has the sound Z as in zebra and is associated with the number 7 in gematria. Okay. Now, let me skip past this and jump to the symbolism and meaning. Symbolism and meaning. Zion is often associated with weapons, as its name in Hebrew means weapon. It symbolizes strength and sustenance, reflecting the struggle for existence. I'm going to leave it right there. Zion. Okay. Now, if you put ism on the end of that, keep in mind that meaning right there. I told you sometimes y'all got to get away from that English language because it's a language of spells, and they throw this letter over here and this consonant here mixed with this syllable or this vowel over here to throw you off. So you got to go back sometimes and you got to get linguistic on them. All right. Zion is the modern Hebrew word for the ancient Hebrew pictographic weapon. Let me see if I can bring up the pictograph. Where's the pictographic ancient Hebrew pictograph right there? It was a weapon. It was a weapon, okay? And you can kind of see that would look like an axe or something. But anyway, when you look at that word right there, knowing that it means weapon, you start to understand the energy of Z ION-ism. What are they always doing? Going around the world fighting people, conquering, taking land. Y'all stop playing with me, man. Y'all stop playing with me. Y'all please stop playing with me because I'm not here for it. This is y'all listen. I just got this download. That didn't even occur to me last year in 2025, Gregorian calendar year 2025. I just got that download. This is consistent with Neptune and Aries. The truth starts to surface like a submarine that got to get air now. That submarine been down there for a long time, but guess what? Submarines got to come up to get air. Y'all stop playing with me, man. Zion, Zayin, means weapon. So if you put ism on the end of that, could that mean weaponism? Is this why we've got to tell Donald Trump to give us more money? We need $50 billion for more Iron Dome missiles and more bombs. We have the right to exist. We must protect ourselves. We're God's chosen people. Remember, the only purpose of a lie is to hide the truth. But the interesting thing with lies is that they hold their own truth, and that is that they are lies. So this is why lies are universal Ponzi schemes, because lies exist to hide the truth. It takes a second lie to hide the truth that the original one was a lie. And then you need another and another and a sister and a brother until they can no longer hold themselves up and they come crashing down. Lies have a shelf life. The truth is non-perishable, baby. Non-perishable. Now, I normally do this up front, but I'm going to do it now. Let's get in some scriptures, y'all. Let's get in some scriptures. I'm going to start with, and these are supporting or foundational scriptures for tonight's breakdown. These all go together, okay? What to expect? What's coming this year, y'all? What's coming? We talking about what to expect. Everything changes now. Let me tell you what to expect with this Neptune and Saturn in Aries at 0 degrees Aries transit, okay? Because I think some of it is found in scripture. I'm gonna go there tonight. I curated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 passages of scripture that I think talk about what's going to be happening. Okay, let's go to 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verses 17 through 20. Let's go there. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Hopefully you're learning something. This is why I exist. Okay, all right. 2nd Esdras chapter 6, verses 17 through 20. This is what Matt thinks is happening here with this new transit and what we can expect to see in the weeks to come, weeks and months to come. 2nd Esdras 6 and 17 through 20. And it happened that when I had heard it, the voice, I stood up upon my feet and hearkened, and behold, there was a voice that spake, and the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. And when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, the real Zion, when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, meaning it's done. The affliction of the set apart people is over with. Verse 20, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, the world that shall begin to vanish away. I told y'all, we in that transition period, nothing is going to be the same again. I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall all see, and they shall see all together. The firmament. Okay. All right. So do y'all know the last time the astrologers are saying that Neptune and Aries met at 0 degree, or Neptune and Saturn met at 0 degrees of Aries? They said we have not seen this planetary transit since about 4,000 something BC. So it's been roughly 62. I've seen 3 different figures. I've seen 6,200, 6,300, and 6,400. Pick one, right? What's 100 years when you're talking about 6,000? So pick one of those. Pick whichever one fits. I'm going to go with 6,300 because 6 plus 3 is 9. That's a cycle, whatever. I'm going to go with that one. Anyway, we have not seen this transit for some 6,300 years. What happened the last time we saw this transit? Some suggest that that could have been the time of the flood. Now we got some people that have been indoctrinated in the schoolhouse in here that says, no, the Noah's flood was like 50,000 years ago. I'm gonna drink my tea on that one. How do you know? Because we learned it in school. They also told you that millions of slaves were transported over here from Africa. That was a lie too, that you learned in school. Okay? Just because it's printed in a book doesn't mean it's truth. Let me just say that. Because we got a whole bunch of academics that want to come on here and say something that they read that somebody before them wrote. Okay? If you weren't there to witness it, all you can do is trust the word of whoever wrote it before you. Okay? Anyway, let me keep it moving. All right, that was 2nd Esdras 6 and 17 through 20. So the books opened before the firmament, and all shall see. I told y'all the veil is thin. Let's talk about that firmament for a minute. I told you I'm going freestyle on that, y'all. I'm teaching and I'm shooting from the hip. Let's talk about that firmament. I want to show y'all something here. Let's go here. All right, I'm just going to read a couple from Antiquities of the Jews, which is, interestingly enough, there's a book that I've got that's printed that's called the Jewish Antiquities. Y'all see how they try to hijack everything? That's a hijack too. And yeah, I said it. This is the time of the great revelation, y'all. The revelation is here. It's here. You can see the truth for what it is, or you can continue to believe the lie. That is the reality split. Some people going to hold on to the lie, and some other people going to say, you know what? I was blind, but now I see. Here we go. All right. Antiquities of the Jews. 1.1.1, the constitution of the world and the disposition of the elements. Check this out. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. But when the earth did not come into sight, but was covered with thick darkness, and a wind moved upon its surface, all the elements were present in the beginning, y'all, just so you know. Those are primordial. They were always there. Right there, gave you two. Earth and wind. Okay? Let me read that again. But when the earth did not come into sight, but was covered with thick darkness, and a wind moved upon its surface, God commanded that there should be light, fire. There's the third element. And when that was made, he considered the whole mass and separated the light and the darkness. And the name he gave to one was night, and the other he called day. And he named the beginning of light and the time of rest, the evening and the morning. And this was indeed the first day. But Moses said it was one day, the cause of which I am able to give even now. But because I have promised to give such reasons for all things in a treatise by itself, I shall put off its exposition till that time. This is Josephus speaking. After this, on the second day, he placed the heaven over the whole world. Heaven, the heaven over the whole world. Sounds like a sky, doesn't it? And separated it from the other parts. And he determined it should stand by itself. He also placed a, wait for it, crystalline firmament round it. A crystalline firmament round it, and put it together in a manner agreeable to the earth, and fitted it for giving moisture and rain, and for affording the advantage of dews. I'm going to stop right there because I wanted y'all to see that part about the firmament. A crystalline firmament. That means you can see through it. Now, when you read the account in the book of Genesis, it says that he put the sun, moon, and stars inside the firmament. The firmament is crystalline, and that is why they give their light and you can see through it. This is why every time you see one of them corny ASS SpaceX rocket launches, you see it go up, you see it go up, you see it go up, and then you see this thing that looks like a big old splatter, and then it disappears. It hit that crystalline firmament. But they told y'all they got stuff going out into deep space, right? Something's going way out in space, but right there, you just saw it. Crystalline firmament. Ain't no getting out of here. Ain't no getting out of here. Just wanted to show that. Why are you showing that, Matt? I think it's because maybe Neptune is in Aries and these things are coming up. Y'all hold that for me. All right? Workers of iniquity. Hold that. Hold that. Oh, Matt ain't done either. He ain't done. Next verse, Mark 4 and 22. We're talking about these scriptures that's supporting what's happening in this time that we're in right now. Let's go to Mark 4 and 22. Mark 4 and 22. And y'all can write these down and go back and look at them, review them later yourselves. All right, here we go. Mark 4 and 22. For there is nothing hid which shall not be manifested, neither was anything kept secret, but that it should come abroad. How about that? There's nothing hid which shall not be manifested, neither was anything kept secret, but that it should come abroad. Neptune and Aries. Divine timing. Luke 12 and 2. Let's go to Luke 12 and 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. That's the time we're in, y'all. Luke 8 and 17. For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad. That's where we are. Galatians 6 and 7. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. That's that Saturn coming into Aries at 0 degrees, aka the God degree. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. That works two ways, y'all. That works two ways. Let me explain. That works two ways. Because whenever people hear, man, you know, you're going to reap what you sow, that always has a negative slant to it. But it's not just negative. That's not just there for people that do negative or low vibrational things and suggesting that, well, because you did something low vibrational, you got to get that back. That's not just for them. If you sowed good seed, you're going to reap good fruit. I wish that these pastors would put more emphasis on the good and not so much always focusing on the negative. Maybe people would change their mindset and be more intentional about sowing good seed. That Galatians 6 and 7 works two ways. It works to the good, it works to the bad. So guess what Saturn and Aries at 0 degrees is going to do? Or Saturn at 0 degrees Aries is going to do? It is now going to, remember, Saturn is karma. Karma is neither good nor bad. It's just payment of what is due, okay? Aries is the energy of appearance, presentation. So now somebody's about to get presented what they are due for the seed that they planted. And some of y'all been planting seed for multiple lifetimes. That's coming due in this one. Yeah, I said that. Some of y'all been planting. How many times do you watch a show where the storyline spans 3, 4, or 5 seasons? Some of y'all been on this journey for 3, 4, or 5 lifetimes, sowing good seed. You didn't get to eat last time. You didn't get to eat the first time. That's because you had more to do. But harvest season is here. Why? Because Saturn and Neptune are coming together at 0 degrees Aries. This has not been seen for some 6,300 years. Some of y'all about to eat real good, and some people about to get that whooping that you didn't want to hear your brother getting when you were little. But you're hearing your brother getting that whooping, said, oh man, whatever he did, I don't want none of that. I'll make sure I do the right thing. That's for people that grew up in my era. I know y'all don't whoop your kids no more. I know that. I know y'all don't whoop your kids. Yeah. That's why some of these kids act the way they do. Last one, Revelations 22 and 12. Revelation 22 and 12. Let's go there. Revelation 22 and 12. Let me share it to the screen. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. Did I not just say that? Let me highlight that. Let's put it in purple. And behold, I come quickly. Y'all, this is the year of the fire horse. There are a lot of There is a lot of alignment happening here in 2026. This is the year of the fire horse. That is quick, rapid energy. Behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. Wow. Wow. That's power. That's power. That is power, y'all. Okay? I'm here to tell y'all every one of those scriptures, I personally believe, spoke to this portal that we are entering into right now. And when we come out of this tunnel right here, ain't no going back. The old is done. The old is done. Let me show y'all now some videos of lies that have been recently exposed. Let me show y'all some videos. Because I know y'all like the videos. I know y'all come on here for them videos. I got them. Don't worry, I got you. All right, let me show y'all these two. I'm showing these under fair use.
חשבתי שהולך לקרות לי בחיים, סבבה? תקשיבו, אני לא צוחקת שזה משהו שלא חשבתי שהולך לקרות לי בחיים, סבבה?
All right, let me back up for a minute and set this up for y'all. Let me set this up. So the Israeli 1948 state media was the 1948 state media was flashing this story of a woman, a quote unquote Israeli woman that was allegedly killed in Iran during their protest, during their violent protest. So they were flashing her face all around the screen, talking about she was dead. And she was sitting there right in her living room watching it. All right. That's what it is. Now let me show it to y'all. Y'all gonna have to read the screen because this is she's speaking in Hebrew, but they got a subtitle. And I'll read the subtitles for the people that watch me while they're driving or listen to me while they're driving. Here we go. Israeli woman watches TV report of her death in Iran protest. She said, this is something I thought I would never thought would happen to me in my life. It says this Israeli woman was shocked to see an Israeli news report of her death in protest in Iran. And that's her face on the screen, and that's her talking. The report says she was one of 4 people killed in during recent anti-government demonstrations. And she's sitting there waving, talking about, hi, I'm here, hi. Hi, how's it going? I'm in my home. I'm home and I'm okay. I need to go to training in a half an hour. What's going on? Nora Zion said the experience had been very stressful. It's journalistic negligence not to check something before publishing it.
לא משנה אם זה פורסם בישראל, לא משנה אם זה פורסם בעולם. אם אתה עיתונאי ולא בדקת מה אתה מפרסם, זה בעיה. במיוחד שזה נוגע בחיים ומוות של אנשים.
Especially when it concerns the life and death of people. Not the first time we outlets have lost in Iran. Less than 2 weeks ago, reports saying that 2 women had been killed there. But Turkish media outlets are clarifying that she is a Turkish actress with no connection to Iran. Y'all saw it. Y'all saw it. If they'll lie over there, you have to think they'll lie over here too. All right. I told y'all better start watching the Jimmy Dore show and the Kim Iverson show. She said all the chickens are coming home to roost. Oh, I got more, but wait, there's more. Here we go, y'all. Kim Iverson right here. A little clip of Kim Iverson I'm showing under fair use. Y'all check her channel out. I love her channel, Kim Iverson. I watch her. I watch Jimmy Dore to find out what's going on and without the mainstream media slant to it. Here we go.
Well, there's new evidence that suggests Jeffrey Epstein could be alive. That's right.
We now have a DOJ draft press release that was dated the day before he died, saying he died of an apparent suicide. Released the day before he died. Drafted the day before he died, I should say. We have a strange person now entering the cell the day before, footage of that. That was released by CBS, Bari Weiss's CBS, nonetheless, which leads us to many questions about if he's alive. They want us to know he's alive. Why would that be? Also, medical records showing Epstein was transferred out of his cell the day before his death, a Fortnite gaming account showing activity well after Epstein's death, and images of what looks like Epstein hanging out in Israel have now surfaced. Here's one of those photos you're seeing there on the screen. Here's another one. People are saying this looks like Jeffrey Epstein hanging out in Israel. Well, there's...
Oops, sorry. It looked like Kevin Costner, too. I'm just saying. It looked like Kevin Costner, too.
For his death, a Fortnite gaming account showing activity well after Epstein's death, and images of what looks like Epstein hanging out in Israel have now surfaced. Here's one of those photos you're seeing there on the screen. Here's another one. People are saying this looks like Jeffrey Epstein hanging out in Israel. Okay, is the guy alive? Let's go through what we have at this point. Let's start off with...
So y'all, if you want to see that video in its entirety, y'all go to Kim Iverson's YouTube channel. All right. Yeah, that's where we are, y'all. But that's what happens when Neptune enters Aries. Y'all better get your mind right, because a whole lot of truths are going to be exposed. And it ain't just abroad, because a lot of us are finding out things local, within your own family. Some of us, we're finding out things, truths are being exposed within our own families, within your workplace, people you work with. You finding out the truth about people at the company. Y'all, email slips. Look for email slips. Did y'all see that email from such and such? I'm telling y'all, that's the season we're in. All the truths are coming out. They all are. Okay. So, let me talk about some more revelations in recently viewed film and video. Okay. So, yeah, I went back to looking at some of those videos where they were talking about I'll make sure this is right. What are you saying, Matt? The snow where the snow wouldn't melt. Y'all remember those? I showed a couple of my own on here where the snow wasn't melting with a cigarette lighter, but then when you light a block of ice out of the refrigerator or the freezer, it melts and starts dripping. But the snow that people were collecting from that last big snowstorm from outside was not melting, and people were seeing some interesting anomalies underneath the microscope that did not look like traditional snowflake. You know, the geometric shapes that you are used to seeing with snowflakes. They're seeing striations that look like muscle fibers and other things. So, this lady I know, she told me last week, she said, "Hey, Matt, you know, I saw your video, and one of the things they're saying now for explaining that is they're saying, well, that's consistent with the use of butane, and it's the butane from the cigarette lighters that was making that do that." I said, okay, well, why didn't the butane make the ice do that? And she said, oh, you got a point. See what I mean about lies only exist to cover the truth? The internet exposed what was going on with the snow, so they had to drop an official statement blaming it on the butane. A lie. How do we know it's a lie? Because the same cigarette lighter melted ice. Now what? Y'all see? So anyway, I'm sitting there, and I kind of moved on past it. And then the spirit gave me another download. Matt, remember that movie that you queued up that you never watched, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire? Go back and watch that movie. And I immediately knew why the spirit told me to watch Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So I sat there and I watched Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and it was a very interesting film. And I took notes, y'all. And let me find those notes that I wrote, okay? In the opening sequence, or scene 1, the daughter is using the nuclear accelerator to try to stop a ghost of a water dragon. In the movie, they're calling it a sewer dragon. All right. So, and it's underground. There's a sewer dragon that emerged from under the ground, and she was using her nuclear accelerator to try to stop it. It was a ghost of a water dragon. Water dragon. Okay. Serpent. Leviathan. Amos chapter 9. Okay. Point taken. Let me keep it moving. The next note. one of the characters in the movie says something that was very interesting. He said, any emotionally charged object can contain a ghost as long as it has experienced some sort of horrific event. Are you saying any emotionally charged object can contain a ghost as long as it has experienced some sort of low vibrational emotion? Could this be why they're always putting low vibrational energy, blasting it in front of our faces on the media? Okay. Now, it says here 0 degrees Kelvin, very cold, unbelievably cold. Okay. 0 degrees Kelvin. These are notes from the movie. One of the characters says 0 degrees Kelvin is the degree at which all particles stop. Suspension of life. Okay, ice. So somebody wants to get something cold enough to suspend life. Why would you want to do that? Water dragon in the beginning of the movie. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so they find these demons trapped in brass urns and lamps that are dating back all the way back to Solomon inside of this film. Okay, y'all should check it out. It's pretty entertaining, but I watch these movies because sometimes the writers leave clues. It's up to you to pick up on them. You can watch the movie for entertainment, or you can watch it for information. All right. So then they go to the Semitic Philosophical and Linguistic Studies Department someplace to ask this guy about this particular urn that they find with these strange markings on it, because no one can read the language and no one has ever seen it. So interestingly enough, they go to the Semitic Philosophical or philological. I don't know if I got a typo there or not, or if I spelled it the way it was written. Philological and Linguistic Studies. Let me check my own spelling there, y'all. Give me a second. Was that supposed to say philosophical or philological? Let me look that up in my dictionary app. Oh yeah, no, it was right. Philology is the branch of knowledge that deals with the structure, historical development, and relationships of a language or languages. Yeah. So they go to the Semitic Philological and Linguistic Studies Department. When they go in there, there's this library, but then there's another library underneath the library that the public doesn't have access to. But there's a library under the library. Okay. In this film, let's see what I wrote. A magical prison for a phantom god named Garaka or something like that. I don't know if I spelled it right. Whose plan was to raise an army of the undead to wage war on humanity by channeling fear into a weapon. And they called it the death chill, which was the power to kill by fear itself. So this fear they're always putting out. Next, the spell was broken. Now they talked about how this phantom god from way back in the day, this guy is breaking down and he's showing them in these books. This phantom god from way back in the day had his spell broken by a roving band of mythical spirit catchers called the Fire Masters, who used fire and brass to capture the evil god inside this brass orb. A roving band of mythical spirit catchers. It almost gives Jedi from Star Wars a little bit. Y'all stick with me. Now, also, they had some 19th century audio recordings in that library. The 19th century was the 1800s. Okay? I'm gonna tile this together for y'all. Now, in these audio recordings were of this is I guess a fictional society from the film, but just put it where it goes. The Manhattan Adventurers Society, who went around the world stealing relics and artifacts and then would meet to enjoy them in their little private rooms while drinking and entertaining hookers. So they spend all this money to go around the world and steal these old world relics and artifacts. And then they come back and they meet with their hookers and they got the high dollar liquor and they're enjoying them and bragging about their little, how they got it and all of this. In the movie, the ancient demon spirit is unlocked via an interdimensional technology with the power to freeze fire. Somebody know the prophecy, y'all. So the movie could be tipping you off to the notion that maybe somebody is trying to come up with some technology to freeze fire. In the movie, the ancient demon spirit is unlocked via an interdimensional technology. Okay? Interdimensional technology. CERN. Put it where it goes, y'all. Put it where it goes. That's not the first time we've seen that in film, because we saw it in Warrior Nun, using an interdimensional technology to unlock a locked up demonic spirit or entity. Fallen angel, perhaps. Let's see. So they unlocked this ancient demon spirit, and he has the power to freeze fire. He was the one that was stopped by the fire masters earlier on and trapped in that urn. But he's like, ain't no fire masters out here can stop me. And he's looking for them anyway. He's like, he wants to find them because he knows they're the only ones who can stop him. So he wants to try to get the jump on the seed of the fire masters. Y'all stay with me. This is Ghostbusters. This is a Ghostbusters movie. So he began searching for the present day fire masters whose gifts were inherited via their DNA bloodline. Y'all know they out here testing certain people's blood, trying to see who got what blood in them. Some say they're looking for people who got the blood of, quote unquote, Jesus and Mary Magdalene. Y'all better stay with me, man. Yeah, I just got butterflies saying that. So this ancient demon spirit began searching for the present day fire masters whose gifts were inherited via their DNA bloodline. And by the way, y'all, the fire master in the movie, the person that's casted to play the role of the fire master, has brown skin. Now, he ain't a brother. He ain't got none ether hair, but still, that they can't put it too much in your face. In the movie, he's Hindustani. He's what you would call today modern day India, East Indian. Got brown skin. I wrote in my notes there. Now, a dense black fog preceded the advent of ice. Y'all remember these videos that were going around the internet with people showing you this dark, thick fog coming into their different cities where they live? And then after that, people start coughing and all this crazy stuff. Anyway, so anytime this ice came in, there was a dense black fog that preceded it. Now, here's what's funny. Women, and this is my last note from the movie, women, and I put in parentheses, divine feminine energy, and a fire-bending man, divine masculine energy, came together to save the world in the end. When I say came together, I ain't talking about they weren't like physical. I'm just saying they combined their powers. A woman and a fire-bending man teamed up to save the world, and they stopped that demon and destroyed it and put it back, and they put it back into its prison. How about that? How about that? See that? Now you see why they're trying to drive separation between men and women. Lot of y'all go watch it for yourself, man. Y'all go watch it for yourself. That was Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. All right. Truths are coming out, y'all. This is what happens. This is consistent with Neptune and Aries. By the way, the last time Neptune was in Aries, and I'm tying this all together now, because why would you want to stop? Why would you, let's just say hypothetically, somebody is somewhere trying to create a weapon or a technology that could freeze fire. Because remember, the flame wasn't doing nothing to that snow. It wasn't even melting. Maybe that was prototype. Y'all know when Thinky Slick Willie G doing something, they got to run through different beta 1, beta 2, release candidate 1, release candidate 2. Okay, this is ready to go to market now. So they beta test stuff to see where it failed, where they need to shore it up. I worked in technology. I know how this stuff works. You got to beta test it several times to work out the kinks before it's ready to go. All right. So that was Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now, what happened the last time Neptune was in Aries, y'all? That was the 1860s. Y'all, I'm going to put a video in the I'll probably link it in a pinned comment underneath the video, or I'll put it in the description box. I was gonna put it in the community post this week, but y'all, I had a lot of other stuff going on, so I haven't had time to do a community post. But I saw this video, y'all, on YouTube called "The Asymmetrical Wars of the 19th Century." I'm gonna show y'all. The video. I'm not gonna pull it up on here because I want to keep this moving. But let me bring it up and show it to you all. It was called. Where is it, Matt? Let me see. YouTube. I'm gonna show y'all this thumbnail. Okay, let me do this. I want y'all to go in and I'm gonna put a link in the description box, but let me show it to y'all so y'all know what the thumbnail looks like. Okay, that one right there, where it says the National WW2 Museum Travel. This one right here. 19th century asymmetric wars. Who was really being wiped out worldwide? Y'all need to go watch that. Y'all need to go watch that. Because when you watch that, and the thumbnail's got three little photos in there, 3-photo grid thumbnail that with a caption that says "All wars were a lie." Y'all need to watch that. It's about 35 minutes long. Y'all make sure y'all add that to your watch list. Okay. Let me give you a synopsis of it. There were certain groups. F it, man. Let me be authentic. There were certain races of people being wiped out all around the planet, all around the same time during the 1860s. A little bit before and a little bit after, okay? But y'all know Neptune stays in the sign for 14 years. Now, and again, you begin to feel the shadow energy of that sign before the sign changes. That's how it works, okay? Usually within about 10, some people say 5 degrees, some people say 10 degrees out, you feel it. Some people say 5 degrees out, you start to feel that next sign, Ida or whatever. But certain races of people were being wiped out on every inhabited continent all around the same time, okay? Now, the spin they put on the Civil War ain't exactly what was happening. Y'all gotta listen to some of these brothers and sisters teach it to give it to you real. They were like, yeah, no, they had to do something to end that war because they didn't want to see what happened in Haiti. Okay, they didn't want another Haitian revolution, so they like, look, let's set them free. Let's do that. All right. Y'all gotta kind of start to disconnect from some of the lies they taught in the history classes and go search for the truth on your own. But anyway, so they're wiping out these races all around the planet, around within that same time frame. But somebody understands the laws of the universe, and so they know that when the pendulum swings this way, it's got to swing back that way. So if you was trying to wipe somebody out the last time Neptune was in Aries, guess who the god of them people coming looking for the next time Neptune in Aries? And it's joining up with Saturn too this time. Saturn is the payer of karmic debt. Saturn pays what it owes. What happened the last time Neptune was in Aries? Okay. So maybe somebody was trying to balance things out dating back to 2020 with a specialized thing that they were trying to get people to go and get, and you can get a bucket of free chicken. I was like, when I saw that ad on television and heard that one on the radio, I'm like, who y'all directing this joy juice to? Who y'all directing that to? Seriously, if I go and get that and show them my certificate of V, that I can get a free bucket of chicken, I get some free pizza. Really? I'm that cheap? Who are y'all directing that toward? Maybe if you're playing chess, if there's no more pieces on the board, if you take all the, forget the king, all right? Take all the other guys' pieces out of the way, you pretty much have almost won by default. It's just a matter of time before you screaming checkmate. So if I take all these pieces off the board, then there's nobody to get karmic retribution for because they're not there. Is that a possibility? Matt looks at everything. Now, how did that happen? How did that happen? Because I remember reading stories of these men that would go and do like whaling and stuff like that in the 1800s. When I say whaling, I'm talking WHALING. They're fishing for whales because whale blubber was a great source of the fat they could burn for oil, for heat and different stuff like that. And then they ate the whale meat. But you would hear these stories of people going out deep sea fishing for whales. And there was a story of these sea monsters, these sea dragons, Leviathan, indestructible, right? That's coming back around. What if Leviathan is an underwater fire-breathing dragon and you're trying to create? Y'all put it together for yourselves. I'm just on here talking. I'm just a guy on the internet, man. I'm just a guy on the internet. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just a dude on the internet. What do I know? What do I know? I'm just on here talking, y'all. Just like everybody else. Y'all go watch that video, Asymmetrical Wars of the 19th Century. I showed it to y'all. Okay, y'all look that up. I'll put a link in a pinned comment underneath the video when this is done. So y'all already know what's going on. The pendulum always swings both ways, meaning what you put out, you got to get back. That's why I read that scripture. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever man sows, that shall he also reap. That works for the good and it works for the bad. Okay? So what you put out, you got to get back. That's why they were trying to do what that's why they're trying to do what the dark side in the Wheel of Time and Thanos in Avengers Endgame were all trying to do. They're trying to find a way to manipulate the very fabric of the cosmos in order to reset the clock and keep themselves in power. That's what I think they're trying to do with CERN. I think they're trying to find a way, and they show it to you in the movies. Again, look at that not Netflix. Look at that Amazon Prime Video series, The Wheel of Time. I love it's a great series. If you're into that kind of stuff, check it out. But I'm playing spoiler alert here. The dark side there is trying to break the Wheel of Time. Because the Wheel of Time, when the way the clock runs, guess what? It's 10:06 p.m. right now, Eastern time. It's night. But guess what? The Wheel of Time says that in about, 10 hours, it's going to be daylight. 9-10 hours, it's going to be daylight. The Wheel of Time keeps turning. But if the darkness does what they do in dark, wouldn't it be advantageous to try to break the Wheel of Time and keep it nighttime perpetually? Well, and what was Thanos doing in the Avengers Endgame? He's going around the world looking for crystals for his power glove to create this infinity weapon to alter time. They show you in the movies. They're trying to find a way to manipulate the very fabric of the cosmos in order to reset time and keep themselves in power. But that's a fool's game, right? Why? Can a garment that is worn out somehow trick the owner of the garment into not replacing it? Can the seams, which are now weakening and causing the garment to fall apart, convince the attached threads to come apart and fashion themselves into a new garment that the owner would want to keep? No, when something raggedy, you throw it out. And that's what these foolish world leaders think. But here's what they don't know. By doing the above, you only reinforce the owner's decision to get rid of you and replace it with a new garment with strong fabric and a vibrant color, the kind that makes the owner happy every time he sees it or wears it. These people trying to hold on to an old raggedy garment and trying to trick the owner into keeping it. They're trying to break the Wheel of Time. So anyway, they know that we're in the season of lies being uncovered and the truth being revealed. So they're scrambling right now. Why do you think they're going out of their way to keep us all distracted with entertainment and mainstream media and social media agitation? Oh, look what ICE did in such and such city. Oh, I don't even look at that stuff. Told y'all, man, guard your mind right now and stay grounded. Guard your mind and stay grounded. Let me show y'all something about this fire horse year, because this adds on to, we got an eclipse coming. I already told y'all what that is. We got a solar eclipse coming. Oh, by the way, eclipses are portals, right? You always, nobody tells you this, but you always need to pay attention to where the highest percentage of visibility of the event takes place. In other words, when we had that big 2017 solar eclipse, wherever that path crossed, that was like 99 to 100% or somewhere 95 to 100% eclipse. That's where the energy was felt the most potent. Okay. Look at where it went through the United States, where it came out in Charleston, which sits around that 33rd parallel. We talked about that too. Y'all go look up that 33rd parallel, look at the cities around the world that are on that 33rd parallel and see who either occupies them today or whether or not they're destroyed and somebody else trying to take them over. That's a story for another day. I covered that in another video already. But you got to pay attention to where that eclipse is taking place. Where can it be viewed in its fullness. Now, this is called the annular eclipse, meaning it's not going to give you that full 100% total eclipse. An annular eclipse goes up to like 90 something percent. So you do see the ring of fire, but it doesn't totally black out. Okay. So here's the thing. When I looked at where that eclipse was taking place, it is moving around. It peaks around the southern oceans and around Antarctica. Now, if you're still believing in a ball of water sitting in space that spins incessantly and somehow manages to keep all the water on it from flying off and all of this stuff, and that they've sent rovers to Mars that somehow magically navigated through the asteroid belt without getting destroyed by asteroids and made it all the way to Mars safely and landed and is sending images back to JPL and NASA and all of this stuff, then this ain't for you, okay? But if you jive with that description of the construction of the earth that I just read from Antiquities of the Jews and the one that comes from the book of Enoch, then you probably also jive with that map that I showed you, that top down. Where is it? Let me show it to you. Let me bring it up. Because this is hypothetical. Okay, this is hypothetical. Let me bring this up on the screen. All right. Y'all hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already, please. All right. This is called the azimuthal equidistant projection map, okay? This is what some say is the real lay of the land here on Earth. And I talked about this when we were talking about those different parallels, and that 33rd parallel is somewhere around in this area, just slightly above there, and where it runs through. Okay, y'all pay attention to that, where it runs through around the Earth. Anyway, so with that eclipse going around the Southern Ocean, you'll be able to see it if you're in southern Argentina and Chile and all of that stuff. If you're going by this map right here and you see that eclipse is coming down through here, remember, I always say pay attention to the location of eclipses. Eclipses are portals. Eclipses are also activations. Could it be that there's an activation of a portal of another realm that sits outside of this? Is it possible? That's all I'm saying. Okay. And if you're gonna make some smart ass comments in the comments after the video, y'all know who you are, y'all bots. I'm gonna ignore them. I'm not even giving y'all the light of day. So you can put a comment there if you want, but I promise you nobody else will see it because I don't do assholes over here. I don't do that. All right. I ain't got time for y'all. It's after a while we ain't gonna see none of y'all anyway. All right. I'm just saying, just keeping it a buck. Now, 29 degrees Aquarius annular solar eclipse is gonna be around the Southern Ocean. Now, some say that this is the barrier with openings in it that lead to other worlds outside of this. Not worlds per se, but other oceans and then other lands outside of this. So could it be that activation in it 2 days in advance of that Saturn Neptune conjunction at 0 degrees Aries is opening a portal through which perhaps entities will be coming into this side to do some shaking? Just a possibility. That was something I thought about. You always got to pay attention to where that eclipse is going to be viewed. What part of the world is it going over? What types of activations are going to be happening around the lands or waters where that's happening? Now, getting back to this deep freeze thing before I bring up these fire horse videos, and then we're going to start to wrap things up. Let me show y'all these. Let me show y'all. Let me skip to. Let me see. Let me skip to Leviathan. Let me show y'all this Leviathan video. Okay. Let me show y'all this. Because some people, there's some out there that are suggesting this is the energy that's waking up.
No, because why I keep hearing about the Leviathan being thawed out and about to come get us? Let's talk about it, because I just been seeing so many different takes and videos about the Leviathan. I've made a video about him this specific serpent creature some years ago, and now people are thinking that he's been unthawed out and he's gonna come and take us, down there. Because biblically, the Leviathan is mentioned in different texts, and he's supposed to be seen on Judgment. He's supposed to come back on Judgment Day. Leviathan is a powerful ancient sea monster from ancient mythology, and like I said, several biblical texts. He is said to symbolize untamable forces. So this thing is untamed, and he blows out fire. Now, originally there was two, and they said that God killed the female one, or the female one was killed, and now it's only just this one Leviathan. But people believe that he is somewhere frozen near Antarctica, and that's why a lot of people think that they've been.
Where that eclipse, where that 29 degree annular eclipse in Aquarius, the Liberator. Aquarius is also the Liberator. Where's that occurring? In the Southern Ocean. Pound, just saying.
But people believe that he is somewhere frozen near Antarctica. And that's why a lot of people think that they've been cranking that weather machine up and making it extra cold so we can basically keep him in this frozen state. But one thing about it, if you believe in God and you believe in the Bible, there's no man that can tame this. No weather machine that can make it extra cold so he can be frozen and not use his fiery wrath on us. Only person that can tame this is God himself, the Alpha and the Omega. So if he coming back, that means it's close to judgment, or it is judgment time. And there's nothing that we can do to stop him. He's untamable. He's a dragon. There's nothing that we can do to stop this. So if he is unthawing, only thing we can do is just try to get right with the Lord, because we can't dethaw him. But let me know what y'all think about this whole Leviathan thing, because so many people have been asking me about this and my thoughts on it, and it do look like it. It do look like a serpent-like creature. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, though.
Now, why do these fools think that they can freeze something back to sleep? Do they not understand that it is vibration, sound vibration can also break ice. Sound vibration can penetrate through ice and awaken something. I'm just saying, like, we got to stop global warming. Why? Could it be because there's something coming to eat you? Let's keep going, y'all. I got another one. I
think I went down a rabbit hole I wasn't supposed to go down today. Everybody is calling this Leviathan a myth, and I truly think that's a mistake. Mind you, I went down this rabbit hole because it keeps popping up everywhere. Maps, sonar anomalies, old text. And once you actually line it up, it stops sounding symbolic and starts sounding more documented. Oh, you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit. In the Bible, the Leviathan isn't described like a fairy tale. Go to Job 41. It spends an uncomfortable amount of time on details. Layered scales so tight nothing can pierce them. A body immune to weapons. Smoke from its nostrils. Fire imagery tied to its breath. And then there's the line that people skip past. God said it was made to play in the sea. Play. That is dominance language. Think about this. Every ancient culture warned us about the ocean. Different names. Same fear. Nobody talks about killing it. They talk about leaving these things alone. Ask yourself why Antarctica stays off limits. Why satellite images glitch. Why deep sea expeditions lose funding when things get interesting. Why movies keep showing us giant sea creatures waking up after ice melts. Nothing here happens by coincidence. This isn't about a monster flipping boats. This is about scale. If a Leviathan that large exists, you don't fight it. You manage it. You do what they said they did. You freeze it, and you hope it never moves. Go back to the text. The Bible doesn't say that the Leviathan was destroyed. It says it was placed, contained, left in the sea. And that's not mythology. That's protocol language. So when this ice starts melting, and the government suddenly rush to explain everything as natural, you should have one question. What happens when the lid come off? Think about all the earthquakes that was happening. Think about the huge underwater caverns that man has never discovered. They're calling the Leviathan the doomsday monster. Now hear me out. Didn't they just say the doomsday clock just got closer than it ever been to hitting that number where the whole world, you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Well, well, well. Well, well, well. Yeah. Yeah. Leviathan. Y'all trying to freeze it? What y'all doing? Fire horse. We got a fire horse about to wake up, y'all. Let's talk about this fire horse real quick. Let's talk about this fire horse real quick, y'all. Yeah, the fire horse. Let's talk about it.
There's a lot of people who are talking about their predictions for 2026, and I think most of them are great. And 2026 is the year of the horse, but very specifically, it's the year of the fire horse. But very, very, very specifically, it's a year 10. So a lot of people are saying it's a year 1, which is true in numerology, 1 plus 0 equals 1. But really, it's a year 10. And so that's really important because energetically, that's binary code. There's a special code there. So year 10 is a year of creation. Year 1 is a year of new beginnings, new starts. And the reason why the 0 is important is because it is co-creation. So it's a new start with the number 1, and the 0 is basically infinity. The 0 is source. So it's co-creation with source. And the importance of it being a horse year and a fire horse year is because for those of you who took my class on the fire era, which is the dominant element of the next 20 years is fire. Fire, yes, has to do with passion. It has to do with transformation. It has to do with the heart, which is also spirituality and compassion. So for those of us who are moving into this year 1, year 10, cleansing ourselves of who we are no longer, of our inauthentic selves, we are going to be propelled into our destiny. And the fire year is a year of profound transformation and spiritual growth. A lot of your superpowers are being seeded right now in terms of the cleansing that is happening, because we're coming from a year 9, an ending, a wrapping up of things, if you will. And we're moving into a year 10/year 1, which is your co-creation with your divine powers, with source energy. And it is going to happen fast, and it's going to happen intensely, and you will be supported through this. And so what I'm trying to say is the heart is a huge pillar and a huge theme of this year. If you have heart issues, please take care of yourself. Please do everything that you need to take care of your heart. The heart also is your heart work, your life's work, your compassion for yourself and others. I just made a video on compassion. Please watch that. If that term is bringing something, it's triggering something in you, because that's very intentional, that's very important. And it is a year of your supernatural awakening. And for many people, it is a year of their supernatural awakening. The truth cannot be denied. The truth that we are beings that...
Y'all, we here, man. We are here. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing, y'all. We are here.
To me, very carefully, February 17th, 2026 is not just a normal shift. This is a cosmic personality test. Save this now, because when life starts moving fast, you're going to want to remember why. The fire horse year is coming, and it's not playing nice. From February 17th, 2026 to February 5th, 2027, it also begins and ends with a solar eclipse, which is actually incredibly rare, something we'll never see in our lifetime again. Hugely intense. This is what is known as double fire energy. Horse already represents freedom, truth, movement, independence. Now add fire on top of that. That's not gentle growth energy. That is stop lying to yourself or life will expose you energy. The eclipses act like accelerated portals. Timelines collapse. Masks fall off. Things that you have been tolerating all of a sudden become unbearable. And here's the funny thing. People will ask, why does everything feel so intense lately? and it's because you are being upgraded without consent. So between now and February 17th, you are in the preparation phase. This is where you clear emotional clutter, outdated identities, and goals that don't even excite you anymore. This year will not respond to pretending. You cannot half commit. You cannot spiritually bypass. You either live aligned or life will course correct you loudly. And that fucking hurts. Manifestation during this cycle is fast. Thoughts become momentum. Beliefs become reality quicker than usual. So choose wisely. Courage over comfort. Truth over approval. And alignment over fear. Drop me a comment and tell me what you're releasing before February 17th. Save this post and share it to someone else who can feel the shift but cannot explain it. And if you want a grounded space for people who are healing, awakening, aligning, and rebuilding something real, DM me the word community and come join H2H.
Listen, y'all, talk about removing, shedding. It's no coincidence that we're having another lunar eclipse in Virgo in March. Lunar eclipses are about shedding old patterns. Virgo energy is about communication, organization, getting things organized, getting things in order, paying attention to the details. What you want to do with that Virgo energy is keep those qualities. You want to shed the ones that do not serve. What does not serve any Virgo, if you ask me, is caring what people think about them. That, to me, that's the reason why this whole thing is coming back around. For you to come into alignment with your authentic self, you are going to have to shed caring what somebody might say or might think about what it is that you came here on this planet to do. That's what you got to get rid of. That's why this eclipse is in Virgo. Okay? That's the number one Achilles heel for Virgo. Virgo's ruled by Mercury. Mercury is about communication and conscious thought, among other things. So you got two signs that are ruled by Mercury. You got Virgo and Gemini. Gemini is the masculine, Virgo's the feminine. Gemini don't care what you think about with them. Geminis don't care. Ask your Gemini friends if they care about whether what somebody got to say about them or think about them. They don't care. Good twin will just sick evil twin on them. They don't care. All right. I say that jokingly because I got Gemini people in my family, so I'm licensed to talk ish about Geminis. All right, I'm licensed. Okay. But Virgo's the feminine aspect of Mercury. Virgo cares. They want to make sure that nobody's gonna say anything bad about them or what? Nah, that's no. You got something to do, just do it. That's why there's another lunar eclipse coming in Virgo. Let it go, y'all. Alignment requires you to let go of what people might say or think about you. Get there first. Get there first and then let them talk. A lot of y'all, that's keeping y'all from y'all money. A lot of y'all, that's keeping y'all from y'all abundance because y'all worried about what somebody might say or think. Well, or happiness even. It's keeping some of y'all from your happiness. You worried about what somebody might say or think. And you wasting years. Who wants to end up in old age like, well, I ain't do that because I was worried about what people would think. And half them people are going to be dead. Or they don't matter anyway. The people who mind don't matter. And the people who matter don't mind. Remember that. All right. What else I got here, y'all? Oh, I got another one. Hang on. Let me copy this. Hang on. Let me paste this here. All right, let me see if I can pause it. Okay, all right. This one you're going to have to read. It's on the screen, okay? All right, everybody, here we go. This is 2025. This is showing you the transition of the moving from 2025, which is the water snake, the year of the snake, to 2026, which is the year of the fire horse. I don't know what the element was for last year's snake Chinese zodiac sign, but it is what it is. All right, let me share this to the screen. Got one more, y'all. You're definitely, and I'll read these for the people who listen to me while you're driving. Let's see. Okay, I got it on the screen. Let me see if I can make the screen a little bit bigger. Okay, here we go. Pause it. Transition 2025 to 2026. From snake to fire horse, shedding to acceleration. The snake year 2025 peeled back illusions, revealing truths you could no longer hide from. The Fire Horse 2026 does not linger. It ignites what's real and burns away what cannot grow with you. What's aligned moves forward. What isn't falls away fast. Relationships that can't follow you, truth exposed equals movement forward. 2025 exposed emotional patterns, hidden motives, and relationships rooted in fear or old identity. 2026 demands motion. The Fire Horse pushes you beyond stagnation. Anything built on denial, obligation, or half truths dissolves. Aligned connections rise with your evolution. Outgrown ones naturally close. The Fire Horse breaks old timelines. The Fire Horse is swift, direct, and refuses to carry old emotional baggage. This year accelerates endings, sharpens clarity, and confronts patterns that you once tolerated. Anything built on self-betrayal, settling, or avoidance is brought into the light so that you can choose truth instead of comfort. Themes: deep shadow clearing, rapid pattern release, emotional maturity, stronger self-agency, meaning advocating for yourself, and relationship resets. When comfort falls, truth rises. 2026 amplifies authenticity. Been talking about that for a long time, y'all. Structures held together by routine, convenience, or fear no longer withstand the heat. Routine, that's that Virgo energy. This is a year when stagnant partnerships, numbness, and emotional distance meet their breaking point. You cannot silence intuition anymore. The Fire Horse demands alignment, even if it means parting from what your soul has already outgrown. Themes are truth surfacing, outdated dynamics collapsing, emotional avoidance ending, intuition leading the way, and radical honesty. Love after shadow work. The Fire Horse boosts attraction and charisma, but only for those who've shed old identities. Love becomes magnetic when it reflects your evolution, not your wounds. The clearer you are about who you are, the more naturally the right connection appears. Themes are renewed self-worth, aligned partners emerging, conscious chemistry, stronger boundaries, and love that supports growth. The year for evolving couples. For committed relationships, 2026 is a turning point. The Fire Horse exposes one-sided effort and calls both partners into accountability, truth, and transformation. Only relationships rooted in mutual growth move forward. And themes are truth as the foundation, old patterns confronted together, deeper responsibility, honest intimacy, and love evolving through shared growth. Stepping into alignment. If this message resonates, you are already entering the Fire Horse timeline, one built on clarity, authenticity, and self-directed creation. This is your shift from surviving to consciously shaping your relationships, identity, and purpose. And I think that's it. Yep, that's the last slide. All right, y'all. So that's that. I wanted to share that. That definitely had some messages that resonated with me. So I wanted to share that with you all. And let's see where I am in the notes, because I think I'm about done here. Let's see. Have I missed anything? Don't need that. Don't need that. Did that. Okay, I'll save that for another video. Okay. So again, I wanted to mention this as I get ready to wrap up. The last time that we had this Saturn and Neptune conjunction in 0 degrees Aries was about 6,000 some odd years ago. And when you think about it, with Matt's definition of an age, I know that the computer says that and age is 2,577 years or something like that, which to me makes no sense, okay? Because everything in the universe is built on nines as completion. 360 degrees is a circle or cycle. 3 plus 6 is 9. So Matt says that an age is 3,000 years. Why 3,000, Matt? Because if there are 12 signs and 12 ages in what's called a great year, then 12 times 3,000 would be 36,000. So, and I talk about that in my twin flame book that I published. Anyway, so my thoughts with the ages being the way they are, if in fact the last time we saw a conjunction like this was a little over 6,000 years ago, well, that would have been another turning of the age going from a feminine sign to a masculine sign. Now, remember what I said. I've said this in a number of videos. I say it in my book, Twin Flames, Understanding and Solving the Problem of the Avoidant Dismissive Divine Masculine. When the age of the cosmos is in a feminine sign, like the age of Pisces that we're leaving, the dominant energy in the earth realm is masculine energy. Chakras 1, 3, and 5. The voice, the confidence, and then the root, money issues, war, struggle, all of that. Masculine energy. Masculine energy dominates when the age is in a feminine sign. When the age is in a masculine sign, feminine energies dominate. Wisdom, intuition, love, creativity, that sort of thing, creation, all of that. Okay. So my theory is this. Could it be that, it's pretty clear that there's a purge coming. It is pretty clear that there's a purge coming. But my theory is this. Could it be that these purges come in cycles to wash away old lining to make way for new life? Now, I know I have a lot of ladies that watch me, so y'all understand what I'm talking about when I say the shedding of old lining to make way for new life. Okay? For that fertilized ovum, I ain't gonna get deep with it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So if you think about it, we are leaving the age of Pisces, which is a masculine dominated age, and entering into the age of Aquarius, which is a feminine dominant age. Knowledge is increased, right? And during the age of Aquarius, knowledge is increased. Knowledge is a product of the third eye chakra, which is a feminine energy zone. So let's roll that tape back 6,000 years. 3,000 years ago this time, we would have been exiting the age of Aries and entering into the age of Pisces. 3,000 years before that, we would have been exiting the age of Taurus, which is a feminine sign, meaning masculine energy dominated the earth, and entered into the age of Aries, which would have been a feminine earth dominated energy or dominant energy. So that begs the question, could it be that these purges come in cycles to wash away old masculine energy or old lining to make way for new life to emerge? All right. The residue of dark masculine, aka non-divine masculine energy, has got to be purged in order for the advent of a fresh new feminine age to happen. That's just me. Okay. And when you look at the book of Enoch, if 6,000 years ago was the last purge, that Saturn and Neptune joining together at 0 degrees of Aries, the God degree, and that was a purge, then you got to ask yourself, what were the children of the Nephilim, the fallen angels or the Nephilim, what were they doing 6,000 years ago if the purge was 6,000 years ago? They were doing some of the same stuff people are doing now. Experiments that went against nature, destroying nature, cutting down the trees, eating people, experimenting with animals. Aren't they doing the same things today? So, y'all, we are here at this shift, y'all. We're here at the shift. So I want to wrap up by saying this, because some of y'all are wondering, well, Matt, if the shift is here, what can I do? Well, I'm going to end this the same way I began it. Start grounding. If you haven't done so already, start grounding. Turn off the negative stuff coming through the television, through the mainstream media, social media, all of this. And yeah, I saw the Super Bowl. Yes, Super Bowl to me, y'all. Honestly, that Super Bowl to me was an omen of things to come. Why? Because you had the Seattle Seahawks, ocean, feminine energy. Okay. The Seattle Seahawks going against the patriarchy, the New England Patriots. And they soundly defeated the patriarchy. So I think that that yesterday's Super Bowl, some people could call it crazy. Oh, man, that's 50-50 ball there. You're throwing up a 50-50. It could be whatever. Listen, I pay attention to everything. I don't throw anything out. If it's useful, I'm going to look at it. You had the team that symbolized the matriarchy destroying the team that symbolized the patriarchy. The fall of the New England Patriots. Could this be the fall of Patriot land? You gotta ask yourself, y'all. You gotta ask yourself that. Very symbolic. They beat them soundly. And when you look at the team, the thing that impressed me about the Seattle Seahawks this year is they seem like they have a lot of love for each other. Like the players look like they enjoy what they're doing. They look like they have fun. They look like they're out there not for self, but for the team. Those are heart chakra energies, y'all. And then that logo of that Seahawk on that helmet looks a little like the head of the Leviathan. I don't know. Could that have been could yesterday's game have been an omen of things to come? Could it have symbolized the fall of the patriarchy? It's gonna fall. I've covered Daniel chapter 2 too many times on this channel. I've covered it too many times. So ground, y'all. Make sure that you are grounding, doing grounding practices, exercise, whatever you do that is comfortable for you. I know he's talking about discomfort. He was talking about discomfort with regards to getting rid of stuff that doesn't serve you anymore. But what you can do is you can turn off the negative media. Don't get caught up in it. Don't get caught up in it. If you got to see it, here's what I would suggest to y'all, because this is what I'm doing. I would caution you not to invest any amount of emotional energy or feelings into what is going on out there, okay? But rather play the role of the observer. Simply just play the role of the conscious observer. And here's why you want to do that. We, as in the whole earth, are entering into the revelation portal where truths are going to begin surfacing right and left. And I told y'all earlier, they're not just truths in the world, they're truths within some of our own families and friendship circles, okay? And co-worker circles, whatever. These truths are going to be surfacing for the next 14 years. Neptune and Aries. When the waters recede, everything that was hidden by them comes into view. Neptune, water energy, Aries, appearance energy. What's beneath the surface is going to appear. All right? So pay attention to what's going on in your own world and save your emotional energy for that. Every one of us is going to see the revelation of truth. Once what you see registers as truth in your heart, you can either accept it or you can take that quantum leap forward into your own growth and ascension, or you can reject it. But if you reject what registers as truth, when you see it, y'all, everybody got an internal truth register. When you see something or hear something, it typically registers immediately as truth or a lie. Okay? So when these truths start to surface, y'all, and they register as truth in your heart, you can either accept it and take a quantum leap forward in your own growth and ascension, or you can reject it. But if you reject what your heart is telling you is true, life is going to get very uncomfortable for you. I'm going to say that again. If you reject what your heart is telling you is true, then life is going to get very uncomfortable for you. Okay? This is the year of the fire horse happening at the same time as an eclipse in the same sign of the dawning age. I think this solar eclipse, this annular solar eclipse in Aquarius, is also the activation and the full welcoming party of the age of Aquarius. And the North Node enters Aquarius in July. Y'all, it's about to get real good for some people and about to get real rough for others. But I think the choice is up to you. Remember, the veil is gone. So watch your words. Manifest only that which you want to see in your life. Don't be calling in nothing that you don't want to see. Okay? Don't even give energy to it. Do not give. Some of y'all know I got a channel. I got another channel where I read energy over there. Okay? I do energy interpretation over there. I asked the Father to show me in a card what I'm supposed to be talking about today to this collective or that collective. Show me. But one thing I do before I, 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 karmic energies. I'm not dealing with them. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of tarot, oracle card readers, energy readers that love to talk about karmic. I don't talk about that. What you focus on expands. Where your attention goes, energy flows. So only pay attention to those things that bring you joy, those things that you want to enter into your life. Okay. As some of y'all continue to rise in your soul's ascension and your frequency, and you become more magnetic, don't be surprised if people want to walk up and just touch you. Some of y'all got healing virtues in you, and people, don't be surprised. I'm telling you, like, people, just don't be surprised if people would. Okay, just ask, let God lead you on how to deal with that. But y'all, a lot of y'all are going to start attracting a lot of people, and you're going to start looking at yourself in the mirror and say, what is it? Why does everybody want to come up and talk to me? Why does everybody want to touch me? Okay, I'm preparing some of y'all, because some of y'all have that frequency. So get your mind right for it, and take your spiritual baths, because not everybody. Now, understand something. I'm not here to scare you. If it's a low vibrational energy, you repel them. They don't even, trust me, they don't want to be just like them demons in that scripture in the Bible when the Messiah went into the tombs, and that man, them demons started talking out of the man. If you come to torment us before our time, he wasn't even in touching distance of that man, and they got scared. So I'm not here to scare you. If you high vibrational, you're going to repel low vibrational energy. I'm talking about some of those, what does the scripture say? Them that are sick need a healer. Ain't that what the Messiah said when they asked him, why are you sitting with publicans and sinners? He said, them that are well don't need a doctor. He said, it's them that are sick. So some of y'all going to have people that want to gravitate to you. They're high vibrational people they were once high vibrational people that were wounded by life. And somehow some of y'all showing up is just going to make their life better, their day better, their life better. Y'all might even activate something in them. Some of y'all might just show up and activate the healing in them. So I'm trying to prepare y'all for what's coming, because the veil is gone. And some of y'all are vibrating super high right now. And the higher your frequency, the more magnetic you become. Okay? So yeah. Y'all get ready. Ain't nothing to be afraid of, but become a conscious observer. Don't get caught up in what people are talking. They come around, hey man, did you hear about it? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Don't put no emotional energy into it. Don't put any emotional, save your emotional energy for you and yours. Don't get caught up in because the darkness is trying to hold on to power, and they doing it by throwing everything out there, just like that monster in Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Just like that monster, they were trying to create this weapon where they killed people through fear. But them fire masters, though, and some of y'all are fire masters, all right? And this is the year of the fire horse. So some of y'all healing capabilities and demon slaying capabilities are being activated this year. So I'm happy for y'all, man. I'm happy. Your reward is coming. I read that scripture from what was it? It was Revelation 22:12. Behold, I come quickly. My reward is with me. Some of y'all, I said this in a short last year. Some of y'all are going to be shocked by what the Most High drops in your lap. You'll be like, this for me? What did I do to deserve this? Oh, we got you on record, baby. We got you on record in the ether. We got you recorded in the Akashic records. Oh, this is just the beginning. There's way more where this came from, and you earned it. Not just in this lifetime, but over multiple lifetimes of service, of high vibrational, tireless service. Y'all start resting and start grounding and get ready, because I told y'all there's a work stoppage for the righteous. There's a work stoppage coming. Y'all ain't gonna have to toil no more. The Most High don't play with nobody like that. Y'all been doing it for too long. The universe got to balance itself out. And it's going to balance itself out by however hard you toiled, that's how hard you're going to play. And I'm going to be there playing with some of y'all. That's all I got, y'all. Let me read the comments and we're going to get out of here. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Jojo Mack in the house. All right, man. Thank y'all for being here tonight. She said it's so true because I'm a 12th house Cancer water sign. Yep. When water, man, you got water in that 12th house. That's super spiritual. She said, oh, what a tangle web we weave when at first we practice to deceive. Yep. Yeah. What's up, Sonic Smile? Thank you for being here. What's up, NS? I forgot already, y'all. Is that Cassandra? I think so. Greetings, Matt. Greetings, everyone. Just getting in. All right, y'all. Let's see what else we got here. All the chickens are coming home to roost. Yes, they are. She said, I love Kim Iverson. Kim Iverson, that's one of my favorites, her and Jimmy Dore. So we have to check the ears to confirm if it's him. Yo, they did that, Lady Dagger Status. They were like, there's no match. They're like, there's no match with the real dude and the dude from the quote unquote autopsy. No match. They've already done that. Go look at I didn't pull Jimmy Dore in. I didn't want to pull in too much other content because I wanted to keep it moving. But go watch Jimmy Dore's channel and see what he covered. He had somebody on there he had a guest on there that covered that very well. He did. So I hope folks see why they allowed AI to be so prevalent, thinking it would hide the lies. Nope. No place to run and no place to hide. Amos chapter 9. Amos chapter 9. Said that movie is on my watch list. I just saw a trailer. Okay. Said the spirit has you dropping and making a connection in these movies. I can't unsee it. I was sitting there minding my own business. Spirit's like, go watch Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. I was like, okay. That library puts me in the mind of the library in the series The Librarians. I didn't know that was a series. What Bernadette, if you're still on, tell me what network that's on, or if that's like Netflix or Amazon or something. Or I can look it up if you're gone. Ghostbusters Frozen Fire, they will put the truth right on. Yep. Civil War took place in the 1860s. Yep. And there were some other ones that took place on other continents. You gotta watch that. I'll put that in the link in the pinned comments after this video is over. Yes, that video is on YouTube. I'm gonna put it up there. Saturn and Neptune meet roughly every 36 years, but this exact alignment at 0 degrees Aries appears not to have happened since 561 BC, around 2,400 years ago. See, Sonic Smile, there's a whole bunch of different numbers running around out there. The prevailing number I've heard was like 6,000 some years ago. Well, like you said, it happened 2,400 years ago. The one I heard was like 4,200 years ago. So maybe you got the 4 and the 2 mixed up. I'm not sure. Not the chicken. Yeah, the chicken. Believe that. Yeah, come get this. Come get this SHOT and you can get a bucket of chicken. Man, please. 6,400 years ago. That's right. Okay, she cleaned it up. Yep. Yeah, it was a whale. They were out there fishing for them whales. Yep. Some of them whales were tearing them up. The people who they've always been at war with. Yep. And we ain't even going to be erased. Nope. Ain't ever going to be erased. So, yeah, they put it all in the movies. Yep. Flat as a pancake. Yep. The colors of the Super Bowl were interesting. Had the same colors as the emergency broadcast system. Very interesting. Ali said, I noticed that too, Matt. They really enjoyed playing together. Yeah. Yep. Age of Aquarius, lead with your heart. I appreciate y'all. What's up, Beauty of Core? Thank you for joining. Thank y'all for being here tonight, man. Thank y'all. I'm glad y'all enjoyed the video. Thank y'all. Y'all make it great. It's all y'all, man. I couldn't do it without y'all, man. Really, for real. I wouldn't want to do it without y'all. Y'all know I be long faced when I come on here and I've been on there for like 3, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and I see 2 in there. I'd be like, so anyway, you're very welcome. What's up, Doc? Thank you for joining. You're very welcome, Ali Rue. How are you? All right, y'all. That's all I got. Listen, authenticity. It ain't never late to be authentic, baby. Ain't never late. Okay. Remember, your destiny is tied to the authentic version of you. And with this new energy, be bold. You're very welcome, Lady Dagger Status. Be bold in this new energy. Aries listen, I told y'all, man, alignment. Everything is about alignment. Neptune is in Aries. Okay. Go look at your Neptune placement. Your Neptune placement will tell you what some of your biggest hopes, dreams, and wishes are. Look at the sign. Look at the house. Listen, alignment. Neptune and Saturn are now in Aries. Aries is the energy of being bold. Now ain't the season to be sheepish. If you want to be in alignment and get everything that's coming to you, you got to go boldly. Be bold, y'all. Be authentic and be bold. That's the season we in now. Be bold. Boldly declare what it is that you want to appear in your life. Be bold. Okay? All right, y'all. Hit the like button on your way out if you haven't done so. If you're new to the channel and you like being entertained, educated, uplifted, and inspired, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you set the notification bell to all so you'll be notified when I upload new content or go live. Check out my new channel, MDT 888 Spirit Guide, John 4 and 24. I got messages over there for some of y'all. It ain't for everybody. I get it. I understand it. Okay? And y'all check that out. Y'all go over there, check the videos out. If y'all like it, hit the subscribe button. I ain't sticking nobody up. Okay, if you like it, hit the subscribe button. Y'all please check out my work as an author. You can see my work at www.talfordarts.com. I'm also on Amazon.com. Check by my author name, Matt D. Talford, which is the same as here. And I'm also in print, and I'm in Kindle, and I'm in Apple Books. So y'all check me out, man. Y'all check me out. That's it. That's all I got for y'all, man. Listen, tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You have to show it. Love is a verb. It's a noun as well, but when we focus on the verb, the noun always takes care of itself. I love y'all. Peace.